Are you about to lock yourself into the biggest loan of your life without knowing if you're overpaying by tens of thousands of dollars? Here's the surprising truth. Most people don't even realize how much control they actually have over the mortgage rate they get. But today, you're going to learn the simple steps to lock in the best mortgage rate possible and avoid the painful mistakes everyone else is making. And stick with me because I'll also reveal one sneaky little trick most lenders never talk about, and it could save you thousands. Number 1. Why mortgage rates even matter? Let's start here. Why should you care about getting the best mortgage rate? Your mortgage rate is the interest you pay to borrow money for your home. Even a small difference, like getting a rate of 7% instead of 6.5%, can cost you over $50,000 more over the life of a 30-year loan. Here's a quick example. On a $300,000 loan, at 7%, your monthly payment might be around $2,000, but at 6.5%, it drops closer to $1,900. That's $100 saved every single month. And it really adds up. Think of it like paying for the same house, but either the regular price or the clearance price. And who doesn't like clearance prices? Number 2. Timing is everything. Here's why. Mortgage rates change daily, sometimes even hourly. They move with the market, inflation, jobs reports, Federal Reserve decisions, even global events can cause rates to rise or fall. That's why it's crucial to watch the market trends. Here's a fun fact. Rates tend to drop a little when bad economic news hits. Why? Because investors get nervous and pile into safer assets, pushing rates down. For example, during a recession or a stock market drop, you may see rates lower than usual. So if you're about to lock your rate and you see news of a shaky economy, it could be a good time to pounce. But don't wait forever trying to time the absolute bottom. Rates are unpredictable. Instead, look for a window when rates have dipped recently and lock in. Number 3. Shop around like your wallet depends on it. Here's something shocking. Almost half of homebuyers don't shop around for their mortgage. That's like buying a car without checking another dealership. Lenders, banks, credit unions, mortgage brokers all offer slightly different rates and fees. One lender might offer you 6.9%, another 6.5%. Over 30 years, that could save you tens of thousands of dollars. So get quotes from at least 3 lenders. Don't be shy about telling each lender what the others offered. It's like bidding them against each other for your business, because that's exactly what it is. And remember, even 0.25% lower rate is money back in your pocket. Number 4. Boost your credit score before applying. Your credit score is one of the biggest factors in the rate you're offered. Lenders see it as your trustworthiness score. The higher your score, the less risky you look to them, and the better your rate. For example, someone with a score of 750 might qualify for a rate of 6.5%, but someone with a 650 score might only get 7.2%. So if you have time before applying, work on improving your credit. Pay down credit card balances, don't open new loans, and always pay bills on time. Even raising your score by 20 points can move you into a better tier. One woman I coached raised her score from 680 to 705 in 3 months and shaved 0.5% off her rate, saving about $80 a month. That's worth the effort. Number 5. Understand points and fees. Here's where it gets tricky, and where lenders sometimes confuse people. You'll hear about points. 1 point equals to 1% of your loan amount. So on a $300,000 loan, 1 point costs $3,000. Points are basically prepaid interest. You pay more upfront, and in return, you get a slightly lower rate. But is it worth it? Here's an example. Paying 1 point might lower your rate from 6.75% to 6.5%. That could save you about $50 a month, but it might take 5 years of payments to break even on the upfront cost. So if you plan to stay in the house a long time, paying points could be smart. But if you'll sell or refinance soon, skip the points. Always ask the lender to show you the break-even point in months or years. Number 6. Don't ignore your loan type. Not all mortgages are created equal. You'll hear about fixed-rate and adjustable-rate mortgages. A fixed rate stays the same for the life of the loan. Great if you want predictable payments. An adjustable rate starts lower but can rise after a few years. For example, an adjustable might start at 5.9% for the first 5 years, while a fixed is 6.5%. If you know you'll sell before the rate adjusts, you could save thousands. But if you're not sure, fixed is safer. One couple I worked with chose a 5-year adjustable when they knew they'd relocate in 3 years and saved about $150 a month while they lived there. So think about your timeline. Number 7. Don't wait until the last minute to lock. Here's something a lot of people don't know. Your rate isn't locked automatically when you apply. Rates can change every day, and if you don't lock in, you're at the mercy of the market. Lenders usually offer a lock for 30, 45, or 60 days. For example, if you're closing in 45 days, ask for a 45-day lock. If rates drop during that time, some lenders even offer a float down, meaning you can still grab the lower rate. But don't assume. Always ask. And don't forget, if your lock expires before you close, you may pay more to extend it. So, coordinate with your lender and real estate agent to time it right. Number 8. A little-known trick to save even more. Here's the part most people never hear. If you can afford it, make a bigger down payment. Why? Because lenders often give you a better rate if you borrow less compared to the home's value. For example, if you put down 20% instead of 10%, your loan-to-value ratio improves, and lenders see you as less risky. That can drop your rate by 0.25% or more. One client of mine saved about $50 a month just by putting down a little more cash up front. Even if you can't hit 20%, adding a few extra $1,000s to your down payment could help. Number 9. Work with the right professionals. Don't underestimate the power of having the right team. A good mortgage broker or loan officer can guide you through all this and even find programs you didn't know existed. For example, some lenders offer special rates for teachers, veterans, or first-time buyers. One borrower I helped discovered a program for first responders that shaved 0.5% off his rate, just because the loan officer knew where to look. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Shop for a broker you trust, and let them help you navigate. Number 10. Consider shorter loan terms. Most beginners automatically think of a 30-year loan because that's what everyone does. But did you know that a 15-year loan often comes with a lower interest rate? For example, while a 30-year loan might be at 6.75%, a 15-year could be at 6%. That's because lenders take on less risk over a shorter term. Your monthly payments will be higher, yes, but you'll save a fortune on interest over time. If you can afford the bigger monthly payment, it's worth asking your lender to show you both options side by side. Number 11. Watch out for junk fees. Some lenders advertise super low rates, but bury extra fees in the fine print. Things like excessive origination fees, document fees, or processing fees can erase the savings from a lower rate. Always ask for a loan estimate, which is a standard document that breaks down all the costs. For example, one borrower I worked with almost signed for a loan that had an application fee of $1,200 hidden in the paperwork. Comparing loan estimates from different lenders makes it easy to spot and avoid these traps. Number 12. Look for lender credits. Sometimes lenders offer credits to help cover your closing costs. In exchange, you take a slightly higher rate. For example, instead of paying 6.5%, you agree to 6.75%, and the lender pays a few $1,000s toward your closing costs. This can make sense if you're short on cash up front and don't plan to stay in the house for decades. It's a trade-off, so be sure to run the numbers and see what works for your situation. Number 13. Consider locking your rate more than once. Here's a clever move not many people know. If you start shopping early and lock a rate, but rates drop significantly before you close, ask if you can relock. Some lenders allow you to relock at the lower rate for a small fee. For example, one client of mine locked at 7%, but rates dipped to 6.6% a few weeks later. For a $250 fee, the lender let her relock and save money every month. It never hurts to ask. Number 14. Check your debt-to-income ratio. Your debt-to-income ratio, or DTI, shows lenders how much of your monthly income goes toward debt. The lower your DTI, the better your rate. For example, if you earn $6,000 a month and pay $2,000 toward debts, your DTI is about 33%. But if you can pay off even a small debt, like a car loan or a credit card, before applying, your DTI improves and you might qualify for a better rate. Even freeing up a few $100s a month can make a difference. So now you know. Getting the best mortgage rate isn't about luck. It's about knowing what levers to pull. asking the right questions, and taking control of the process. Which of these tips surprised you the most? Or is there another question about mortgages that's been keeping you up at night? Drop it in the comments and share your thoughts.